Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about some real talk about manifesting and what's really important about it. Welcome to the channel. This is the place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there for you, ready to be activated. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on the channel. First things first, I want to hear about your experiences with the 4-week Manifest Your SP challenge. So if you haven't already commented below, I want to hear your revelations, your insights, what you experienced. Did you get movement? Is your SP back? Are you feeling frustrated? I want to hear it all. I'm happy to engage with you. Drop a comment below if you haven't engaged with the videos themselves. And if you haven't checked out the 4-part series, I'll link it above. I always get, it's this way. All right. So my thoughts about manifesting have been shifting. Over the last few weeks, I've really gotten into a different point of view about manifesting, and I want to be completely transparent with you because you may find aspects of my story that resonate with what you are experiencing as well. My tagline that everything is inside of you, it's all there ready to be activated. When I first started saying that, I really wanted to believe it. I wasn't quite there yet with fully believing it. And in the last few weeks, this has been part of the shift that I've made, is really acknowledging, finally acknowledging that that is true. And it brings me back to something that I learned through this journey. And I've been on the manifesting journey for a while. I've been experimenting. I've been doing all the crazy stuff that they have us do. And through that journey, I read a book of how emotions are made by Feldman Barrett. I really think that book changed my life. It is so powerful. It gives you such a different perspective on your emotions, and I'll put the title below. But one of the key takeaways from that book was that science shows us that 90% of our lived experience is predictive. What is prediction? It's simulation of what we're gonna do, what we think is gonna happen. It's imagination. It's imagination. It's imagination. 90% of your lived experience is imaginative. Imaginative. The other 10%, I think, what I would call your physical environment. Your 90% is your mental environment. The 10 is the physical environment, is also mental. I really believe it's a slowed down version of consciousness. It's a tangible, we can touch it, we can taste it, but we can also touch, taste, smell, hear in our imagination. If I tell you right now to think of an orange that you've just picked off a tree, you scrape your fingernail on the outside rind of that orange and you see those little orange essence vesicles pop, and you can smell the orange, that warm, fresh, citrusy scent. You just experience that in imagination, in your mental landscape, just by me saying those words. That's how influenceable we are through language, through each other, through the mental landscape. And it's important to remember how influenceable we are through ourselves. It's that easy. If I could just essentially do that for you, right? I guided you into that. You can also guide yourself. So my question to you is, what is the relationship between your 90% and your 10%? I've stopped kind of going after stuff. I've really, in the last few weeks, part of my thoughts and philosophy on manifesting is it's not really about the stuff. It's not about getting the stuff in that 10%. Like, I'm tired of chasing things that I think will make me feel better, will fulfill me, will make me happy. When I have at my disposal a playground of consciousness where I can make things instantly happen, like that orange. And I can give myself over to that experience and enjoy it and allow that to be the foundation of my wellness, as opposed to letting the 10% be the foundation of my wellness. So if and when we are experiencing manifestation fatigue, it is because the flow, the importance sequence that we are assigning to this entirety of our lived experience is that the 10% is up here, right? It's prioritized, it's real, it's physical, it's our physical environment, and then we're letting it all roll downhill to our imagination. And then we don't allow ourselves in the 90% to have the things we want to have right now, to enjoy the playground, right? And we become totally enslaved, this 10%, of trying to make it happen, doing affirmations, doing all this stuff, watching all this kind of blah, 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 clicking on the titles that are totally clickbait that says, do this and you'll get everything you want. Has that ever happened yet? You know, it's tempting. It's very tempting. I completely admit I have been in those spaces where I want something to show up so badly in my physical environment that I'm willing to do all this crazy crap to get there. But that's shifting for me. And you may sense this in my videos coming up. You know, the first video of my 4-part series about your SP was give up the wanting. Give up the wanting, because your SP is already in you. They're in imagination. They are you. Your SP is an imaginative element in your 90%. So drop the wanting. I was trying to take the 10% off a pedestal. So when we feel that, when we feel these emotions, and maybe this resonates with you, of the fatigue, just feeling frustrated, this isn't working, reverse the flow. Reverse the flow. Consider, contemplate putting the 90% up here and the 10 down here. Because the 10 is the shadow. The 10 is the echo. The 10 is... it's just a different flavor of consciousness, but it's the effect. This is the cause. The 90% is the cause, right? The mental landscape, let it flow from 90 down to 10. It's like, oh, if it's cool, if it's there in the 10, that's great, but really I'm abiding in the 90. If you do this, you will notice a change. You will notice more peace of mind. Because in the 90, give yourself abundantly what you want. Be a millionaire in your mental landscape. Be married to your SP. Be living the life that you want to live. Give yourself over to your desires. That's why you feel crappy, because we're not allowing ourselves to go there when the 10% is up here, right? We let it dictate what we imagine in a space where anything is possible, in a timeless, boundless, infinite field. Like, you can make anything happen in there, in that 90%. So give it its proper place. Put it, rearrange, let it flow downhill. Who cares about the 10? Like, who cares? Who cares? 90% of your lived experience, the quality of what you are experiencing day in and day out, is how well you keep house in your 90%. Do you give yourself the things that you want, or do you deny yourself because you're being realistic? Well, it's not here yet. I can't imagine that because it's not here yet. Well, That doesn't have to be a possibility for you. You can just take command of the 90, be the person you want to be in that intimate, private womb of creation. There's no one else there but you. There's no one else there but you. It's completely safe. You are safe to give tones of reality to something that is not in the 10 yet, in that 90. And you know how much better you're going to feel when you give yourself that? That's what your soul is crying out for when you have a desire is, I want to be this now, and I want to be it in consciousness, and I want to experience it. And the fastest and easiest way to do that is to give it to yourself in imagination in that 90 and stay there and become that person. Become that person. Give yourself the gift of fulfilling your desires. And you will change your views on manifesting. You will play the game differently. It will become easier. It will become more effortless. You will not be consuming content and craving and looking for the answer and trying to bang it out. When the 10 is up here, that's what we try to do, because that's what we are used to, right? That's kind of how it feels in that physical, in the 10% world. That's what it feels like, right? We've got time against us. We've got physicality. Things move slowly. We have to bang it out. It's effort. It's energy. It's a different game. In the 90%, different rules of the game. It's instantaneous. It's limited only by your imaginative capacity, right? You can just make it happen right now in your mind. Just like with the orange. You can make it happen right now in your mind. And you can judge the level of, this is what's true for me. This is what is true for me. You can bring tones of reality to it. You can allow yourself to bask in it, to soak it up, to really live it, in that 90. Live it in the 90 instead of slaving away for it in the 10. This is all I'm saying. So what do you think? Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you. And if you need a tool going into this new year to really start to housekeep your 90%, to change how you interact in your mental landscape with yourself, grab my free tool in the description box. That is where I started, and it will change you. It will change you. You will develop, again, more inner peace. You will stop being at the service of your emotions, because they're you. Your emotions, again, are an effect. They're not a cause. The 90% is the cause. And what you consciously choose is the cause. So, be in control, be in command. Make it effortless, make it easy. Enjoy it now, be fulfillment. Change the flow, friends. Change the flow. I hope this was helpful to you. And thanks for watching.